Hi guys. Listen, I don't know what's happening with my hair. It's very static and uh, it's not staying in place, and I don't understand why. So yeah, please excuse how I look with my picky bola and whatever is going on here. I just try to put it somewhat in place for the video. You know what I mean? I might put on some makeup and all of that stuff to, you know.
A few moments later.
Yeah, just to get the vibes going, because we don't want to look absolutely atrocious doing this. You know what I mean? Anyway, so welcome back to my channel. I'm actually really excited for this video. I've been working on it for a while, so it's going to be a long one, but not too long, and I'm going to get to the point because I made notes right with my pink pen. Okay, anyway, so this video is basically the first 6 months of being a mother. And to all the moms watching that are mothers for years, and like they have teenage kids and whatever, I'm getting there, girl. And let me tell you, I'm stressed about getting there. Number one, I'm stressed about my son having a girlfriend. I'm stressed about if he needs a sibling. I'm stressed about, is he gonna be successful? Is he gonna be artistic? Is he gonna be this? Is he gonna be that? I'm stressed about 10 million things at once. So yeah, there's a lot of things happening in my world right now. But yeah, so backstory quickly, I recorded this video twice. The first time I recorded it on my phone and the sound did not record. The second time I recorded it with earphones, and then half of the sound in the video cut completely. So here we are recording on my father's phone, and that will probably be the way it's gonna be until I get a new one. But anyway, for now I'm going to introduce Mr. Rain Smith. 6 months of Mr. Rain. And that is my big boy. I mean, how did 6 months fly like that? How are we already halfway to one? I don't understand. And forgive me if I'm playing with my hair the whole time. It will know nie so whatever like me. But anyway, yeah. I really don't know how it went so fast, guys. I don't understand, like, where the time went from him being a newborn to him being this kid filled with personality, being demanding. I can see he's like gonna be naughty. There's so many things that I'm already seeing at such like a small age, and it's exciting, but it's also like it's like a bittersweet feeling because you are so small and he was so fragile, and he was this little person that you had to protect, and now he's trying to reach for everything. He's trying to climb the gates, and like, guys, I'm not kidding. You see what I mean? This is 6 months and this baby is big. Up until today, I still do not know how I, carried him because I'm small, like really small. So yeah, but like it's been an amazing 6 months. I've learned so much. I've learned so much about myself. I've learned so much about sacrifice, and it's been the biggest blessing in my life. I can't explain to you the feeling of going through cancer and thinking that I'm never gonna have a kid, to him being here and healthy and good. That means everything to me. But yes, he's been an absolute blessing. He's had his moments where, the teething has gotten hectic. The 6 months has been challenging, but I wouldn't say difficult. It's been challenging in the aspect that obviously we had to learn how everything went and how it goes and how he deals with certain things. The circumcision was first, and that was hectic. We went and he was just under 2 months old. No, he was just under a month old, or just over a month old. And we went, and when we got there and stuff, like, I was extremely nervous, and rightfully so, because shit, that's an experience and a half, guys. Like, yo, my heart was broken for him. If men ever wanted to know what their struggle was, you won't remember it at your big age, but if you wanted to know what your struggle was in comparison to a woman getting a period or girl getting a period, it's that. Because I don't wish that shit on anybody, like, ever. Because as a baby, that shit is fucking traumatic. And it can cause toxic masculinity, because, I mean, what the fuck? No, I'm joking. I'm just joking. That's not a real thing. I'm just saying that it was very traumatic. And luckily they don't remember it, but if they did, fuck. I don't know. That would have been tough. But anyway. So, the details in the first 6 months, the only issues I've really had were the circumcision, the teething. There haven't been any teeth that came out yet, but he's there. He's like, it's coming, So, what have I learned so far in this journey? I have learned that when you have a kid, you cannot overthink, because you are creating unnecessary fear. And you can overthink anything being a mother. You can overthink the smallest thing, like, why is he making so much noise? Or why is he making ooh, ooh, ooh? Like, you don't overthink it. They are babies, they are resilient. You would know if something was seriously wrong. And then don't operate with anxiety. I had noticed that for some reason, this light don't look like the right one. That's more like it. For some reason, no, what is I saying? Yeah. I noticed that after the circumcision, right, Chislin was calm in that situation. I am a first-time mom, and in that situation, I didn't know how to act. I was so scared for him, and he cried hysterically in the car, and because of that, it was like, what do I do? What do I do? Like, oh my word, getting frustrated and like being filled with anxiety and fear and all of that. Like, I didn't know what was going on. And Chislin operated from a place of calmness, and he taught me that even though the situation is scary and you are scared, try your best not to make him feel that, because he feels your anxiety, especially as the mother. He's very connected to you, so he's gonna feel the same way he did in the womb. He's gonna feel your anxiety, your fear, your sadness, all of those things. So you need to really try and not feel that, even though it's kakad, because literally you don't know what the fuck is going on right now. When he cries like that, it's like your whole brain stops, like your whole heart, your soul, everything just freezes. But I slowly started practicing it. I was so scared to bath him also, guys. Like, I was so scared. I was like, the water wasn't okay. The person, the lady in the hospital, the nurse that bathed him, she was just like doing her own thing. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, yo, this is most my son at the end of the day, you know. But anyway, I didn't, you know. But yeah, I was really scared. And now you must see how I am with him. So shoop, 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 shoop. Dress him, like, if he cries, like, you just get the hang of it, guys. Like, and I think that's the main part. Being patient with yourself, not beating yourself up for first times, you know, especially if you are experiencing your first time and you don't know. Like, you don't know what to do. Nobody gives you a guide. Nobody gives you a book. No one. You literally just wing this shit. That's why so many people are so fucked up. Because I mean, being a man, I'm joking, but I'm just saying, like, that's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, don't operate from a place of anxiety. Eventually I got calmer and I got like better equipped to deal with it. It wouldn't make me feel so scared anymore, and I took everything one step at a time. He also had these little like frights in his sleep, and that would also like cause fear in myself and his father, because we were like, yo, what is this now? And then, is this child sick? What's happening? But there are newborn babies in the world. They have been cooped up in this tiny little, you know, place, and now they're free.
Oh my God! Wow!
So obviously their bodies are going to react to that. And we spoke to the doctors and everything was fine. He's good, growing perfectly well. Like, all his milestones he's reached. Like, he's done everything he's supposed to do. You know, he's perfectly like healthy and good. Thank you, God, for that. But yeah, like, there's so many things that nobody tells you, and you just have to kind of play it by ear. And then be patient and kind to yourself. I've mentioned that. Don't have expectations for yourself, and don't beat yourself up because something didn't go the way you thought it was gonna go. Having a kid, nothing goes the way you think it's gonna go. You think there's gonna be a routine, you think there's gonna be no TV time. That's what I said, no TV, whatever. Now this little man is addicted to Paw Patrol, and what can I do? Nothing, because I'm a first time mom and I made mistakes. And I wouldn't say it's a huge mistake, because I still monitor the amount of TV time and screen time and all of that stuff. Like, I don't allow a lot of it. I allow 10 minutes or so a day. And if that, like, he doesn't even watch every day. It's now and then, you know. But yeah, you just need to understand that you are going to make mistakes. And because you are a first time mom, you're not perfect as a human being or mother. You need to allow yourself to feel. You need to allow yourself to be like, okay, shit, I fucked up. It's fine, bro. Like, I'll learn. Yeah, be patient and be kind. Because, girl, nobody else is going to be there for you. Only you are going to be there for you. But yeah, make time for yourself. Hey guys, this one is hard, especially for me, because I like to overcompensate because I go to work. So on the weekends I just want to be with my son, and that's not right, because I also need to have time for myself. I cannot pour from an empty cup. But I'm learning how to do that step by step. I'm not going to tell you that I've got it mastered, because I don't. And then this is the one thing I wanted to talk about, like, so badly. In the beginning of my journey, right, I had so much judgment towards my mother-in-law and like other mothers, and you know, people who would want to give me advice and stuff. And in my head I was just like, can you just leave me alone? Like, you know, you don't know me, you don't know my kid, you don't know how this is supposed to work. And you forget that these people raised kids. Your mother raised you. My mother raised me, and my my boyfriend's mother. I don't like to say in-laws because I don't want to jinx things, you know. I'm not like that. But I didn't want to take anyone's advice. And I would get so upset, you know, if anyone said anything or did anything that I didn't agree with or whatever. And understand that there's a fine line. There's a fine line between disrespecting someone's boundaries and just doing what you would do. So, as grandparents, you must understand that they love these kids. They love your kid and they would never do anything to harm them. This is coming from a place where you know that, right? If you don't and you have questions and doubts, then please keep your kids at a safe distance. But if you know in your heart that they would never do anything to harm them, you have no leg to stand on not to trust them. However, this is still your kid. You still have the answers in terms of like how you want to raise them, how you want things done, why this shouldn't be done, why that shouldn't be done, why you don't want to introduce this at this age, so on and so forth. And at the end of the day, you have to ensure. Bye. Okay, guys, so anyway, that is baby daddy. Yeah, so like I was saying, you are still in control, you are still in charge of what must happen, you know. So communicate your boundaries, like say that certain things don't make you happy, but also remember that they were raised in a different time where it wasn't as easy to say, no mommy, don't do that, no this, no auntie, this, don't do that. They had to just listen because they were younger and there were older women, older women that were telling them, like, you know, giving them advice and whatever, and they didn't really have a choice but to take the advice because that's just how it was in the olden days. It's changed now, and you have the option to say, "Kykie Warine, this is not where I see myself, and this is not what I see." You need to understand that people have differences, especially when you have a kid. You are combining two homes. You are combining two families, two different families with different values, with different belief systems, with different ways of dealing with things. And expecting them to deal with things the way you deal with things is simply just madness, because nobody deals with things the same way. Nobody's raised the same way. No two homes are the same. No two families are the same. And because of that, I think it's very important for you to try and understand, you know, and accept how people are. But, you know, some things, your boundaries are important. Don't forget that that's important, because you need to always remember that your child is your responsibility. So you cannot push blame onto anyone. You are the decision maker in your child's life until they are of age to make their own decisions. So you have to ensure that you make the right ones. You are gonna mess up, like I said, but with your best judgment, you know, do what you feel is right. So the shift from individual to mother, it's a massive shift. You walk out of that hospital a changed person, and you will never be the same. When you were thinking of yourself for any reason, you need to pee, you need to eat, you need to take medication, you need to do this, you need to do that, everything changes. Everything. You are now the sole caretaker of your kid, and that means all their needs come first. So you can't even breathe without making sure they are okay. There are times when I want to do things right, or when I wake up in the morning. I had a routine before. My routine was I was very religious with my routine, and that completely changed. I don't have any morning routine now. I wake up when he wakes up, which is never the same time, 4, 5, 6, around there. Always before 7 though. Never lets a person sleep until after 7, you know. But yeah, I wake up when he wakes up. I do what he needs. There's days where I do get to sleep in because Jason will obviously take him, or my dad or my sister or my mother will take him, and then they chill with him, and then I get to sleep for a few hours, which is nice. You know, you need that, you need help. But yeah, everything you do revolves around them. Everything. From now until they move out. That's how it's going to be. So, prepare yourself. I don't know. I really don't know how I'm going to deal with that because I'm already very attached. And I don't know if that's going to change. Understanding that also you are the only person in the world that knows your kid the way you know your kid. Your in-laws, your mom, your dad, your aunties, your uncles, they might have raised 10 kids, one mother. Nobody knows your kid the way you know your kid. So your answer or your opinion is final. Nobody knows your kid the way you do. So remember that that's what matters. And you need to follow your gut because you carried that child. You as a mother and a father have a responsibility to ensure that that connection is never broken. I'm still getting there, guys. I'm in the beginning stages of parenting and I'm an overthinker. So I've just been thinking about when he's bigger, when he does this, when he does that, how am I going to deal with this, how am I going to deal with that? And trust and believe, I know it's not going to be anything like I envision it. I'm going to have so many plans and none of them are going to be how I think they're going to be. Because that's exactly what happened when he was born. I thought this, and it was the complete opposite of everything. There is no way you can predict. No way. No way. You will see what happens. And you just have to roll with the punches. You have to roll with it as it goes. And then I want to get into default parenting. Default parenting is basically where one person assumes the role of taking care of everything in parenthood. Moms are usually the default parent. And it's not by choice. It's almost subconsciously decided for you. And some dads do it, but hardly any. Default parenting means that in the morning when you wake up to get done for work, right? You wake up the night before, you got your clothes ready for work, you made sure the bottles were made, you made sure that they were clean, you made sure that all the dirty washing is in the laundry basket, you made sure that the food is prepared, you made sure that there's enough diapers in the diaper bag thing, you made sure that literally everything is done. And then you get into bed. And then you wake up in the morning and you try not to make a noise, not so that you don't wake him up. And then you get done for work, and while you're getting done, he wakes up. While Dad's sleeping throughout this whole thing. You wake up and he wakes up, and then you go and fetch him, and you are still rushing to go to work. And then you go and fetch him and you sort him out and take care of whatever you need to, like as quick as possible, continue getting done, warm a bottle while you're doing that, whatever, and then leave for the day. So your only break essentially is when you're at work. But then when you're at work, you memorizing the appointment dates that you need to go for, his appointments, his clinic visits, his medical aid stuff, making sure all of that is sorted, checking in at home, making sure he's sorted, video calling to make sure that he sees you so that he doesn't lose a connection. Default parenting is hard, guys, and it shouldn't be the way that it is, because at the end of the day, the dad is not the nanny. You shouldn't have to ask for things to be done. You shouldn't have to, dictate what needs to happen. As a dad, assume the role of dad and make sure that what needs to be done is done. If you need assistance along the way because you haven't done it from day one, no problem, but then start doing it. Because essentially what you're saying is that the important role is going to the mother. Somebody is breaking something here next to. Anyway, essentially what you're saying is that the mom is the most important parent. And at the end of the day, men want to talk a lot about how they are also important in a child's life. Start doing these things. I'm not even lying. Start doing these things. Start being the default parent. Let's start there. Then we can start speaking about how unfair it is that women get full custody, how unfair it is that the woman is favored in court or when it comes to the kid or whatever because she's the mother, but you donated the sperm or you whatever. No, guys, understand the sacrifice that went into making that child, that went into carrying that child and making sure that child is okay, and that is still making sure that everything is sorted for that child, your child. It's a harsh reality, and it can be changed, but it's behavior that needs to be corrected. It's it's something that you need to understand. You need to understand why it's important for both parties to be the default parent, because if anything, God forbid, should happen to one, the other should know how to pick up the slack completely. There shouldn't be, there's always going to be that one special thing mom does or that one special thing dad does, and a different connection between both. But in terms of what needs to be done, there can't be a difference, because you need to be 100 with 100, you know. And these are all tasks that can be learned. So it's not things that you have to motherly instinct and whatever. It's not. You don't need a motherly instinct to make a bottle. You don't need a motherly instinct to go and take his washing off the line. You don't need a motherly instinct to check the formula to make sure that we have enough, whatever. I'm just saying, yeah, that's my take on default parenting. I do feel like it can be changed, and it is an active conversation in my relationship. It's also a conversation that I feel has struck a nerve in a good way, because my partner is doing what I need him to do, you know, and we are doing what each other needs the other person to do, essentially. So that makes it easier. Understanding dad's role, the importance of breaking the narrative that dads aren't hands-on. That narrative can be broken with changed behavior. If we hold dads accountable instead of just assuming the role of the default parent, then there wouldn't be a need for us to have this discussion, because everything would be done equally. And when it comes to your kid, I don't feel like gender roles should matter. I feel like at the end of the day, you are a father and you are a mother, and your responsibility to the child remains the same. So regardless of whether your nature is to nurture or your nature is to provide, or your anatomy or biology or whatever the case may be is to be a provider or a nurturer or a hunter or a gatherer, whatever the case may be, you have the same responsibility to your child. And for that reason, there shouldn't be a discussion about gender roles in raising kids. But that's just my take on that whole situation. Right. And then this is a little bit of an important one, right? So I've had this conversation with so many people, and I've had so many different opinions, but the one that comes up the most is, I don't think that my partner is capable of raising my son if anything should happen to me, or raising my child if anything should happen to me. Understand something, guys. If you have an active parent, when I say active, I mean somebody that is active. I don't mean perfect. I mean somebody that you can sense fear. You can sense that they have fear that your child is gonna fall, or you know, they have the parental instincts, fatherly instincts, if you would say, because we are talking about fathers here. At the end of the day, you and your partner made that kid, nobody else. So unless there's a discussion that's had that the father cannot look after the kid in your absence, that's a different story. But if he is willing and able, your kid needs to go to the father should anything happen, because you will never understand as a father how it must feel to know that your partner and your child didn't have enough faith in you to make the mistakes. I'm not talking about big mistakes now. If you know that they aren't 100% okay, then okay with the kid, then yeah. But that's why it's so important for them to play their part, to ensure that they are there, so that if anything does happen, there's no doubt, but I personally believe that my son should be with his father should anything happen to me, God forbid, because even though that changes the whole dynamic of where he was raised and all of that stuff, at the end of the day he's with his dad, and that's what matters. That's a big thing for me, because of the simple fact that my son does not have his surname. Just because he doesn't have his surname does not mean I don't trust him as a dad. I put him on my surname for my own reasons, and I feel the bigger part of this whole thing is that they have an equal role in your child's life. The dad and the mom are the two most important pillars in a child's life, and if you think one is more important than the other, you're wrong, because one cannot exist without the other. There are single moms out there, yes, but there are things missing from those children's lives due to that absence of one or the other parent. And that's something that needs to be addressed. Not in all situations, but it is really important for your kid to have a mother and a father. Whether you guys are together or co-parenting, it is important that that child understands the importance of their mom and their dad equally. That is a healthy parenting relationship between you, your partner, and your child. You need to understand the importance of that. And as a mother, I know how overprotective I am of my son. But I know how much his dad loves and cares for him. And because of that I made the right decision. But yes, this laptop is gonna die, and so is the ring light, so I'm about to hurry this up real quick. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you have anything you'd like to say or add, or if I have a lot more content coming, like shorter videos, I just wanted to give you guys an update about everything and say what I wanted to say about motherhood. But thank you once again to my YouTube family that supports me and loves me, and my 100 and something subscribers. I really appreciate you guys, and I appreciate the people that watch until the end. I appreciate you. But yes, thanks again, and please do like, subscribe, and share, and I will see you again on the next one.